Hello, this is Laurie Parma, and you are watching the beginning of something new, which I am calling the Contemplations. So how did this happen? Well, about a month ago, I asked a question on Facebook to my friends. I wanted to know what they would be interested in learning and exploring about well-being in 2018. And I did that because I want to share my passion and expertise for well-being. But I also realized that I had absolutely no clue what my friends would actually be interested in exploring with me. So I received about 200 plus suggestions and ways to approach it from my contacts. And now we are in 2018, so here's the plan. So I compiled all the topics I received into 52 shades of 2018 well-being, so I can cover them one by one, week by week, throughout the year in this lovely video format. And what I really want to do is to each Tuesday, I'll try to post every Tuesday, share a little bit about the science that I have in my toolbox around well-being and the science of being happy and thriving. But most importantly, I will include some of my experience. So how do I relate to that one topic throughout a week? And what I'm absolutely most interested in is that you come on board with me and contemplate those topics for yourself as well. So I'm most interested in the back and forth we can have and the conversation we can generate around those topics. That's why I'm calling the show the Contemplations rather than the lectures. I'm all in for the exchange, really. There are several reasons why I'm embarking on this weekly adventure, and the first one is that I didn't find that I had a channel for my work to exist beyond work, in a more playful way for me to share with the people I care about or the people who are simply curious about what I do. So although I will be sharing how well-being magic happens in the science literature and how I make my magic happen for well-being, I'm most interested in sharing it with you and you engaging and challenging and asking questions and saying, oh, I'm not interested in those topics in your calendar, change them please. There's no problem with that. I'm really cool with being challenged and being asked questions. The second reason why I'm running the show is to play and manipulate our attention. And by that I mean what will happen if we start paying attention to how our well-being and emotions work and how we relate to other people and how we perform at work. Because here's the thing, attention precedes any experience we have. And so I'm really curious as to what will happen if we start mindfully engaging with well-being. Working on well-being for a few years now, I find it's not as much about what you do and what's your strategy to well-being. I think it's more about how you relate to it. And so I'm really curious as to what will happen when we start playing and questioning what goes on into our daily experiences and what we do and what will happen if we start challenging that. So the last reason is that I've gone as far as to call the show the Contemplations, and of course it's because of the attentional dimension that I think underlies well-being in many ways, but it's also because Victor Hugo wrote a collection of poetry that is called The Contemplation, and I love that piece of work, but also I think it suggests something that I'm really fond of, which is, could we treat this life experience and the way we relate to people and even the way we do exercise or we do work or we perform or use our brains, could we have a playful approach to it? Could we kind of dance with it or treat this life as a little bit of poetry? So week one, if you download the calendar, I'll link it below, you'll see is the first topic I want to talk about. So next Tuesday, I'll be telling you a little bit about attention, and I have a mini assignment for you to explore the topic on your own if you're interested in doing that, which I would love. The question I have for you is, if you're looking at how your attention naturally falls, I'm interested in knowing, what do you easily pay attention to? Where does your attention run naturally, or what are the tasks that are just easy to focus on? And as opposed to that, what are the tasks where there's more of a struggle to keep paying attention to, or that your mind always sort of slips away from? And the last question is, why? Can we inquire as to why these topics are so easy to pay attention to, and these are the topics are much more difficult to keep paying attention to? So a little bit of a recap. First of all, thank you for watching this. Second, if you have contributed the topics to my little calendar, thank you even more. And the third recap message is, please embark on this with me. Come play, download the calendar. God knows, it might just be fun, or we might make a little bit of magic happen, or a little bit more of an intentional relationship to well-being. In any case, it's going to be really interesting, I hope, for you, and I will see you next week.